Hello, YouTube. So I am going live for the first time right now, and not really sure how this is going to work out. Just because, well, number one, first time going live ever, and of all the times and places that I could be going live for the first time, happens to be on a road trip. Yes, I am driving right now on Route 64 West, going north to go to Fairfax, Virginia, George Mason University to be specific, to go see my son's first rugby game, and I'm pretty excited about this. So figured, hey, let me just give this a shot and see what this is all about, and I guess figure out what I could talk about for future live events, because I see so many people going live, and it's pretty neat to see and hear and just listen in on the conversation. Sometimes participate, and sometimes, I guess, just chat and talk with other people at the same time. And because I'm doing this via YouTube, I don't think that I can actually get other people in on this conversation with me. Hey, Margie TV, I just saw that you're over there. Awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. Thank you. What did I learn the other day? Mega love shout out, right? MLSO. Yeah. So, yeah, having been on one of your live streams before, I saw that there, and I was like, what does that mean? And yep, I learned that watching some of the other Filipino live streams, and that's pretty cool, you know. But yes, I am driving on Route 64 West right now. I'm about to go through the tunnel, so if my signal cuts out, I may have to get back on again and give this another try. But thank you very much for hanging out with me this morning. I wish that I could hear you. It'd be neat to talk to somebody else while I'm on this 4-hour drive that I'm only 20 minutes on. So that's pretty cool. There's a giant American flag right there hanging out. Maybe you guys can see that real quick as I drive by. And so, yeah, so I've got this really cool setup right now. I think it's pretty cool because bought it, put it together, right? And I'm driving in an F-150, Ford F-150, 2018 Ford F-150, and I mounted this bullet point rack system on the console that allows me to mount a camera and maybe even an iPad or another phone on it. In fact, here, I'll give you a quick look at it here so you can see what I'm talking about. It's a bullet point system. So I've got two arms, two cell phones, one for me and one for my wife if she's driving with me. She wants to charge her cell phone at the same time. And I recently got this magnetic mount, magnetic cradle, and a magnetic case for this mounting system, which is really neat. So I could take it on and off. It's pretty secure. I was concerned that it would fall off because it's just magnetic. And so, yeah, this is a really cool system that allows me to go landscape mode like this, or I can just turn it like that to go portrait mode and back again, or take it off very easily and show you around what I'm looking at. I just drove by an accident on 64 eastbound. Somebody is probably trying to live stream on YouTube also. But all right, I've got a second watcher here. I don't know who you are, and maybe I missed you, but go ahead and say hello and give you a shout out too. But thank you. I've got two watchers now. That's great. That's awesome. So Lance Cadena, all right, what's going on, man? My fellow drone pilot, and Warren, all right, hey Warren. Yeah, I can't look at the screen and drive at the same time, but thanks for hanging out with me, fellas. That's freaking awesome. So Chris Wedgeworth, good morning, hello. And right now I am about to go through the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. Take a quick look at the Chesapeake Bay here as I go through this tunnel, and hopefully my signal comes in. In fact, I wonder if you guys can, how my audio sounds. If you could give me a thumbs up to let me know that my audio is decent enough, I'd appreciate that, because I can't hear myself talking right now. I can hear myself, but all right, thumbs up. The audio is great. Thank you very much, Lance. Appreciate it. But yeah, so multi-window closed, your phone is too hot. Okay, so let's try this. Let's try to not charge it. Cool down before multi-window again. All right, so I don't think it likes charging at the same time, and I'm using an Android phone for this live stream. When it charges, it gets hot, and so that might not be a good thing. So let's not charge it right now, and I guess when I decide to take a break from flapping my lips, and I'll charge it. But I am about to go through the tunnel now. This tunnel goes between, let's see, Norfolk and Hampton, Virginia. It's not too long, and hopefully I don't cut out, but if I do, I'll get back on in a short period, and maybe I can try out to do the StreamYard, which I've got, or Zoom if somebody else wants to join me on this, so I'm not the only talking head on this live stream, right? It'd be really neat to, just help me pass the time for one. But I'm curious to know, now that I'm underneath here, how deep we go under here. It's got to be pretty deep for the aircraft carriers to go over. So yeah, we're driving underneath it right now, and it's one of those things where I don't even know when it was built, to be honest. I've lived here for so long, but we don't think about these things. You take a lot of these infrastructure things, but I do know that there is a project I think they're gonna not necessarily widen the tunnel, but install a tunnel that's wider here and make the highways that feed the tunnel and exit the tunnel wider as well. And there was a really cool drone shot or animation of this. In fact, one of my friends, Brandon Rogers, former Navy guy as well, he is a drone pilot who's actually put me in touch with.
GPS signal lost.
Oh, GPS signal lost. Let's see. Ray! Thanks, Ray. Good morning. Did you see DC's fight last night? I just got off with the phone with him a few moments ago, and he said that he's got a bad signal, but he was asking if I had screen recorded his fight from last night. And so for those of you that don't know, I've got a good friend of mine that works with me at iFly Virginia Beach. He had his second professional MMA fight last night that he won on a split decision. I screen recorded that video and posted it to YouTube last night. Checked YouTube this morning to see if it took, and looks like I got copyright infringement because of all the background music that they were playing. And so I had to redo that video, shortened it down, cut it up, added my own music from Epidemic Sound to it to try to drown out and block some of that music, so I don't get the copyright infringement hits, and for his fans to rewatch his success from last night. What a great fight it was! 3 rounds, 3 5-minute rounds, and it was really good. I'm very happy for DC, and great big congratulations to the Celtic Hammer out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, who fought a guy from, I think it was Mensink, New York, the Crow. But I edited that video. I'll post that here. We'll just call it later on tonight, because I am driving up to Fairfax, Virginia to reiterate what I'm doing right now, why I'm doing this, my first live stream on the road. And that's part of it is to help me not be so bored on this road trip. And on my first rest stop, which might be in about another 30 minutes from now, because I've got a kid-sized bladder and I'll have to go to the bathroom here pretty soon. And I'll try to set up my StreamYard or Zoom so that if you're interested in joining me, I can let you in on this live stream with me. But let's see, what was I talking about again? All right, DC had a great fight, and 3 5-minute rounds. First round, he knocked the guy down. Second round, I wasn't too sure. I mean, I gave it to the other guy, but the third round, DC really took it to his opponent, and really saw his striking capabilities in the third round, which was awesome. Very happy, very proud of DC. Not that I have anything to do with his success, because I don't fight anymore. I don't wrestle anymore. I just I fly drones now. That's what I do. So, all right. So, let's see here. Made it through the tunnel. It didn't look like I lost a signal. It still says live on my phone. And yeah, just rolling out. Let's see. I should arrive in Fairfax, Virginia, George Mason University, in about, let's say, GPS said 4 hours. I started about 10:30, I think. So 2:30 I should get there. The team should get there at about the same time as well. Rapidian Road. One of my teammates at Fly Virginia Beach, she graduated from George Mason University as well. Kendall Snyder, who works in the sales and marketing department of Fly Virginia Beach. And so it's funny when I mentioned to her that I'm going to go see Severn play's first rugby game this weekend over at, and I played it, I said it like this, I said, at the George Mason University. Like, I forgot what the name of the college was, and she's like, you know what I'm talking, you know what you're saying. So I found it funny. I guess you had to be there, right? Like with many things. But I thought I saw George on here pop in. So good morning, George, if you're still with us. How are you? Thanks for hanging out with me this morning on my drive up to Fairfax, Virginia, GMU, to see Severn play in his first rugby game. And wow, I haven't shut up, and it's been 11 minutes of just flapping my lips straight. So let's see, and now we're down to one viewer, 2 thumbs up. Hey brother, of course, always here to watch some good content. Awesome. Okay, I couldn't read that last one, it disappeared on me. Let's see, top chat, I can't. Yeah, so George, this is the first time that I've gone live ever, and of all the times that I can do it, it happens to be in the car. I guess because it's easier for me to just talk and not be quiet while I'm driving, because driving can be a little bit boring, and I'm definitely probably gonna have to do this again later on when it's on my drive home. Although it'll probably be bad because it'll be dark and poor lighting and blah blah blah, but we'll see about that. We'll try it. All right, I don't want to hide the chat, so I hid it somehow. All right, live chat. Morning, Jason, David, AZ Drones. I think it's David. I can't read it, but good morning. Thank you again. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning, George. If you're still with me, when do you want to fly next, bro? In fact, I'm seeing how you've been progressing. I kind of want you to fly with me on my staff time a couple times here and there. But hit me up. I might actually go in tomorrow morning. Depends on what time I get in tonight. 4-hour drive there, 4-hour drive back. The game is 80 minutes, but of course, you know how long, who knows how long it'll take before I actually get back on the road again, and then all my bathroom breaks, because kid-sized bladder, right? I'm a small person. But that is all good. So let's see here. I am passing the Hampton Coliseum right now, of which I wanted to always down to fly. Heck yeah, George. Just trying to get better before I fly with the pro. Hey man, that's how we do it, right? Practice, 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 you know? And no such thing as, so to speak, perfect practice. Is that what they... Practice makes perfect. You know what? Practice makes practice, and you know what? The goal is perfection, of course, as always. But yeah, I wanted to get some footage of that Hampton Coliseum that I passed by. I know they are in, I think that they are in clear airspace, or a portion of it is in restricted airspace. But just to fly in orbit around it, you know, take my drone and just get a shot flying all the way around would be pretty cool. And so yeah, so this weekend happens to be my 25th year anniversary from graduating from the Naval Academy. And all my friends are up there right now from school, class of 98. So 25 years ago, we graduated the academy. And they're all up there having a great time. I don't know if anybody from school is on this live stream. It's probably because they're probably all still sleeping or waking up from from a great party last night. Thank you very much, Warren. And so, yeah, what a great time it was at the academy. I had a good time. It's what you make of it in any situation, right? And yeah, they're all up there. There are a bunch of friends in the Virginia Beach area. In fact, my veterinarian happens to be my classmate from the academy, Tara Golden, who is still technically she is in the reserve still, Navy captain. And a couple years ago, she got out off of active duty, went to vet school to be a veterinarian, and she's pursuing a lifelong dream of hers, which is pretty cool because when I took my dog, my service dog, to get spayed in 2015, I took her to East Beach Veterinary Hospital in Norfolk, Virginia, because I lived in Norfolk back then, and took her there, and she came out to the front desk and said, "Oh, I wasn't sure if that was you," but because she saw Maggie Lavarias, my dog, on the thing, and so she was her vet, and so she's been Maggie's vet since 2015. And Tara eventually broke out on her own, and she formed and established her own veterinarian business, which happens to be a mobile pet service, pet hospital, if you will. So she's got this giant Ford truck, which she's converted into like an ambulance or a clinic. So basically, when my dog needed to have some teeth removed, and basically she parked the truck in the driveway, brought Maggie inside there, and she did the procedure in my driveway, which is pretty awesome. So if you're in the Virginia Beach area and you need a veterinarian, Tara Golden of Golden Paws Mobile Pet Service, I'll figure that one out again. You can Google that. Tara Golden Golden Paws Mobile Vet, I think is what it's called. So, but yeah, she's pretty awesome, and she's taking care of my dog for the past couple of years, and happy to help her with her business. And you know what? She does a lot of charity work, and has helped so many people that can't, they can't afford, I guess, the price for her regular service. And so she's done a lot of donations and charity work for those that for their pets. I mean, it's important, right? Our pets keep us young, keep us happy. So we got to make sure that they're taken care of also. On that note, my dog's 10 years old, and my wife is, I think, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe it's 3.5 years ago, we'll say, Victoria started cooking Maggie's food. We stopped feeding her kibble, the dry dog food. So so it wasn't until then, because my wife's vegetarian, that she started buying steak for the house for the dog. If I wanted a steak, I would buy my own ribeyes, but I'm picky like that also. But yeah, so she cooks Maggie's dog food, chop up the meat, mix it in with some type of a vegetable powder mix that she gets online, and mixes it all up, kind of like food prep for the weekend. Maggie's got basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 1 cup of that mixture every day, which is great. My dog will be 10 next month. I know mine too, October. Yeah. Awesome, Warren. Yeah. What kind of dog do you have, Warren? It's hard to read and drive at the same time, but I'll catch it if I can. Hey, hello, host, Miss MLSO. Oh, hold on a sec. Cool. MLSO, back to you as well. I missed who wrote that, but good morning, and thank you for hanging out with me today. Great catch, your live stream host. All right. Savvy, yeah, awesome. Thank you very much. Yes, of course. In fact, it was you guys that, my Filipino live streamers, that I can't really understand because my Tagalog is kunti lang. So, yeah, you guys have inspired me to do a live stream as well. And yes, of course, of all the times for me to start my first live stream, I'm driving. And I hope that my audio is good, my video is decent, because I am using an Android. I know some folks that are, I wonder how much of a difference it would be. as far as video quality would be between this phone and an iPhone, or even using an iPad, because I think an iPad would be nice too. It's a big screen, I can actually see it, you know. I need a new setup for my phone. In fact, for those of you that's just joining me right now, if you want to take a quick look at my setup, I'll turn my phone around so you can see that. In fact, let's see, can I just change camera? Let's try that. Yes, okay, so I can actually see what I'm looking at also. So this is what I have set up. This is a bullet point mounted system. Where's my camera at? There's my camera. Okay, cool. This is a bullet point mounted system. That's the name of the company. So it's got these two arms, two bullet point arms. This is a bullet point magnetic charger. And this is actually a wireless charger from, I forgot, Ronin. So it's a different company that I attached to this bullet point system. But I've got this set up like that, and those arms articulate. They move around so that I can actually position my phone the way I need it to be positioned. So let me get you back to my face so you can see me again. Press that button. And I had to get a magnetic phone case for my phone to basically attach. And what's nice about that is because it's magnetic, it just grabs a hold of the magnet. And I think I'd like to get a stronger magnet just so it snaps in that quick, a little bit quicker, because sometimes I have to find that circle magnet. I think it's called MagSafe. In fact, the first time I saw a magnetic holder, one of my friends from the Naval Academy, or no, from that was at the wind tunnel. I happened to be doing some flight instructoring. I was teaching him how to fly. And he had a magnetic case and he attached it to the metal bench. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So it doesn't slide around. It basically just stayed in place. And so, yeah, do you mind if I ask where you're from, host? Oh, yeah, I am from Virginia Beach, Virginia. That's where I live now. I grew up in New Jersey and I am Filipino. My family, my parents are from Pangasinan, Philippines. So, yes, unfortunately, my Tagalog is kunti lang. I can understand a little bit, but that's because I don't practice, number one, and I don't hear it all the time. So that was part of my, I guess, reasoning for starting to listen in on the live streams, the Filipino live streams, just so I can, you know, pick up the language again. Because I know that when I get immersed, I pick things up really easily. I mean, that's how I learned Pashto when I was in Afghanistan, Kiswahili when I was in Kenya, Spanish. I took 4 years of Spanish in high school, didn't speak it in college when I was at the Naval Academy, and then when I was deployed to Spain for the first time, I was immersed in the Spanish language and just picked it up very easily again. And I went to Italy, learned it's very similar language, so picked up Italian. But unless it's like anything else, use it or lose it. And yeah, I don't remember anything about Pashto or Kiswahili. In fact, what's No Worries? Me No Worries. The Lion King song, Hakuna Matata. So I asked the Kenyans, hey, so is No Worries, is that Hakuna Matata? And they said, no, that's just the Disney version because they want to sell, they say, because it sounds better than Hapana Shida, which is the real way, I guess, according to the Kenyan that I was speaking with, my translator. He said Hapana Shida is how you say no worries in Kiswahili, not Hakuna Matata, which means something else, and I don't remember what it translates to. But yeah, and yeah, for those of you that are in the chat and watching this, feel free to repeat your question if I don't answer it, because I'm driving right now. Oh, where'd it go? Let's see. Pin message, report, move. Okay, I can't. So it disappears on my phone. I have to watch it right away. Oh, okay, that's cool. You were there in last June. This past June or 2022 June? Savi. Yeah, I miss New York City. I actually, in 2007, drive safely host. Yes, of course. Thank you very much. In 2007, we moved to New York City. The firm that I was working for at the time, they wanted to establish a branch office and a presence in Manhattan. And I've always wanted to go back there because, I mean, I'm from that area. I was born in Manhattan, of course, and grew up in New Jersey. When we moved to New York City, we moved to 52nd and 10th Street. We had this great apartment in this the Archstone Clinton building on the west side. And so the view from our living room, you could see the scoop of the Manhattan skyline. So you could see the rise of the buildings as they grew taller. And so we had the, if you will, the skyline of the city directly in front of us. And then you go into the master bedroom, you could actually see the Hudson River. So that was pretty awesome. We lived in the, I think it was PH21G, 21st floor of that building. And so my next dream city to live, yes, I am from Chicago, Illinois. Awesome, right on. Are you in Chicago now, Savvy? And so, yeah, I love New York City. I miss it. It's a great place to visit, you know, but when you have a 3-year-old, you know, it wasn't necessary. My wife and I decided to not live there any longer. Yeah, the skyline is pretty awesome. Concrete jungle is what we call it. In fact, the building that we lived in, there were a lot of actors and models in there. And I remember there was a news anchor, I think her name was Maggie Rodriguez, or in the building also, that I think my wife used to hang out with. And there was a model, his name was Jason also. And the funny thing is, one day, you know, Severin and I were out in the courtyard just blowing bubbles. He was 3 years old at the time. He was blowing bubbles. He was running around. And, you know, Jason comes over and says hello. And says, hey, can I hang out with you? So he hung out with us, blew bubbles, and then he left. And then one day, I didn't know he was a model yet, but I just happened to be one of our neighbors as far as I was concerned. And Severin and I were walking around. We went into one of the, I think it was a Dwayne Reed is what they're called, like the CVS or pharmacy stores in New York City. He says, hey Dad, look, it's Bubble Man. Again, that's how my son sounds, right? Dad, I don't talk like that, Dad. Dad, look, he says to me, it's Bubble Man, Dad. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he shows me this box of Just for Men hair coloring, and there was Jason, Bubble Man. So my son calls Jason Bubble Man because he blew bubbles with us one day, and yeah, it turns out he's a he's a model. I don't know if he's an actor, you know, model slash actor, actor slash model. All right, the Slashy Awards. But yeah, so that's how I learned that he was a model for one. Also, safe journey. See you later. Yes, Warren. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Is that Joel hanging out? Also, David. Hi. DJI sucks. Max, if you're, I'm assuming that it's Max here from New York and Tammy that are hanging out as well a little bit. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys, this morning. I am on my way up to Fairfax, Virginia to watch my son's first rugby game. He is a freshman at Hampton-Sydney College at this time, and he's never played rugby before. I couldn't even spell rugby. And so he's got his first game. He had a scrimmage last weekend, and I'm up there, and I asked if I could fly my drone to watch, you know, to film the game and maybe get some shots. And being that the address that I got last night puts me at 15.34 miles from Dulles Ronald Reagan Airport. And so for those of you drone pilots in that area, you know, and drone pilots in general as well, you guys know that you know, it's a SFR, Safe Fly Restricted Zone or something like that. I forgot what it stands for. SFRA. I know it's a restricted airspace in the DC area. There's a 15-mile ring, and then there's a 15 and then a 30-mile ring. So if you're within the 15-mile radius of Dulles, there are special restrictions that you have to get airspace clearance for. But if you're flying your drone in 15 to 30, there are specific considerations and I guess requirements that you have to abide by to fly in that area. And GMU, George Mason University, where I am headed out to right now, happens to be 15.34 miles away from the airport. But that was the address that I got last night. And Coach emailed me and he said that they might be moving from the grass field at Rapidian River Road to a turf field, and hopefully that's still outside of 15-mile radius from Dulles. So we'll see when I get there. He said he'll email me the new address once he gets it. And I am still only about another 3 hours and 15 minutes away. In fact, as funny as it sounds, is that the game he played growing up? No, my son, he has never played rugby before. He just learned it. He showed up at school, August 13th or so. He got accepted into the Wilson Leadership Program, so he showed up 1 week early before the rest of the student body arrived. And then the second week of school that he was there, they had, I guess, clubs, and he thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna go check out the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu club, because his sport was wrestling. And the rugby club, and I guess I don't think he went to go play Dungeons and Dragons Club. I joke him about that. That he's going to join the Dungeons and Dragons Club. But he's not joining Dungeons and Dragons. Nothing wrong with Dungeons and Dragons. I like Dungeons and Dragons. In fact, have you guys seen the movie Dungeons and Dragons? I thought it was really good. But yeah, he made the rugby team. And he is playing. There are two types of rugby, I guess, categories. There's 7s and 15s. I'm just learning all this now because it's a new sport to me also. So he is playing 15s as a fullback. So the numbers on the jerseys also refer to the position that you're playing. So he is number 15 on the Hampton-Sydney B team. Unless, of course, they fleet him up to be an alternate or a backup for the A team. So, yes, very good movie. I thought so as well. I enjoy. What is that guy's name? The primary actor, main character, Captain Kirk from the new Star Trek. Yeah, Captain Kirk. He played as well. He's a very good actor. I thought he did a really good job in Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, so where was I? I lost my train of thought. Okay, club. Yeah, so he made the rugby team. So I'm headed up there now to go watch his first game, and hopefully get some playing time and not riding the bench. I mean, after all, I am driving 4 hours up there, right? But it's all good nonetheless. I am gonna shoot some video up there with my drone. Hopefully the weather holds out. The last forecast that I saw reflected 87 degrees high and just clouds. No, what do you call it? No rain. Yesterday it said rain, but this morning it's a little bit different. So looks like somebody lost some stuff out of their Jeep just now. So, all right. So I've got it looks like 3 viewers on there. Thank you very much for hitting the thumbs up and liking my, yes, William Shatner, not Shatner. Yes, he played William Shatner. Oh no, William Shatner played the first Captain Kirk in Star Trek. Chris Pine played Captain Kirk in the new Star Trek movies. And so, yes, good call there. Very savvy. And so, yeah, just another 3 hours or so away from the field. Hopefully, I get there before they start. Because DC traffic, even though DC traffic is DC traffic, it's ridiculous sometimes. So we'll see what it looks like as I get closer. I'll turn my navigation back on and such. But State Police, Virginia State Police, is not pulling out. I mean, I'm going the speed limit, 70 miles per hour here on 64 West, and yep, he's not pulling out. So he pulled out just a little bit, and I thought, oh man, but there were 2 other pickup trucks that were driving a little bit faster than I was and passed me on the left. So Let's see. Now you don't feel like driving by yourself, host. Yes, exactly. That's kind of why I'm doing this live stream. I'm certainly more awake compared to when I'm driving. I get just really lethargic and lazy and tired and sleepy. And so this is kind of neat. This is a new thing for me to drive and talk at the same time and just share with you my stories and successes and failures perhaps throughout the week, because I know I'll probably be doing this once a weekend, at least up until November, because my son will have other rugby games between now and then. And so Hampton Signity, so rugby team is a club team. It is not a varsity sport. I think it's a club team in most colleges as well. And so they don't get a lot of funding. But it's one of those things where my wife and I actually made a donation to them yesterday. And because I think Severn mentioned that they need new jerseys. Because he was wearing a size, like 2 sizes too large for his number. And there's 40 kids on the team, and I mean, I guess they technically only need 2 sets of jerseys, maybe a home set. If there's 15 positions, 40 kids on the team, so maybe they need at least 3 sets of numbers, if you will, 1 through 15, right? Because that's how they determine the positions, by the numbers. So number 15 is fullback, and I think number 9 is scrum half, which was the other position that Severn was looking at playing as well. So, okay, the school will find a way, like fundraising for uniform. Yes, they do find ways to make uniforms, and especially for a private college. But a lot of that, particularly for athletics, it's all dependent on donations from donors, alumni, parents. Oh, that was weird. There's a 4x4 in the middle of the right on the edge of my lane there. And so I know, so for example, the Naval Academy, a lot of my understanding, and I would hope that it's not the case, that my tax dollars are not being used to send the Naval Academy football team to Dublin, Ireland to play a football game against Notre Dame that they're just going to lose anyway. What a waste of money, if you ask me. But I think that's all funded by the Alumni Association, which, man, you could use that money for something else other than sending our team to Ireland, all the way to Ireland, paying for per diem, travel, lodging, just to lose. Because I think we've been losing to Notre Dame for the last 50 years. And I mean, we might have come close one year. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure that we've lost every single year for like the last 50 plus years to Notre Dame. And very good football team, we just can't beat them. Maybe it's because Notre Dame just refuses to get beat by another team that wears gold helmets. Although we've had some pretty cool helmets and uniforms over the past years, all thanks to Alumni Association donors at the Naval Academy. So my son's school, same thing, donations, selling school merchandise. Yes, of course. Car wash, right? Donations, exactly. And so, yeah, happy to support the team. I mean, when my son's wrestling team in high school, they had to buy their own warm-ups and stuff like that. The school provided the wrestling singlets, but the students had to buy their own warm-ups and all that other stuff. So my donation, if you will, to the wrestling team in high school was I helped coach the wrestling team. So I was an assistant wrestling coach while my son was going to Catholic High School in Virginia Beach. That's the name of the school, Catholic High School. It used to be called Bishop Sullivan Catholic High, but the Archdiocese of Richmond, I think his freshman year, yes, which was 2019, 2020, the year of COVID, yeah. They changed how buildings and institutions would be named, meaning, for example, Bishop Sullivan Catholic High School, they wanted to remove the names of bishops and basically people from the names of institutions. So yeah, it's no longer Bishop Sullivan. It's not named after a person. It's just named after the religion, Catholicism, Catholic high school. But yeah, that's what the Archdiocese of Richmond did a couple years ago, just to, I guess, I don't know exactly why they did that, but they did. And there goes the state trooper passing me on the left. But yeah, so let's see here. I am passing Williamsburg now, which happens to have some pretty cool spots to go and visit. Very historical out there. Hey, hanging with JD. You know what, guys? I'm gonna be passing through Michigan. I should have probably reached out to you guys to see where you're flying at. I should have left earlier this morning. Stopped by, flew with you guys for a few hours, then gone up to Fairfax, Virginia for the game, right? That would have been cool to do. Hanging with JD. Yeah. Thanks for hanging with me. Hanging with JD and Jason. Happy weekend, everyone. Savvy, thank you for, happy weekend to you as well. It sounds like, are you taking off? Are you hanging out a little bit longer? All good either way. You know, I appreciate you spending time with me this morning on my first live stream ever as I drive to Fairfax, Virginia. Enjoy the nice cool weather. I wish it were cool. It's a little hot out here. Let's see, my car temperature gauge reads 84 degrees Fahrenheit. And up there in Fairfax, it says 87. That was the last weather report that I saw. Partly cloudy. It is partly cloudy right now. Blue skies. Good enough to fly drones, though. And so, I think the worst weather that I've ever flown in was just, it was cloudy outside. Yes, hanging out now for now. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate you, Savvy. Thank you very much. Yeah, and I believe that this that live stream time actually counts towards time for, I guess, for the monetization of a YouTube channel. I'm not really sure. I'm still figuring and learning that out and such. And all right, there's a state trooper chasing somebody down. Hopefully it's not me. I mean, I know that I've been going the speed limit, so, which is 70 miles per hour. And there he goes. The police, they're coming for you. Yeah, whenever we see lights, I would joke my son, Seth, police, they're coming for you. Obviously not, but yeah. Great times nonetheless. So, yeah, this drive is, it's not too bad. I mean, it just reminds me of the driving that I used to do for scouts when I was the scoutmaster for the scout troop at our church, and even just driving Severn to the wrestling matches up in Richmond, you know. And so, yeah, unfortunately, he had a really good year up until he went to the conference championships. He was seeded number 5th. He was seeded 5th in the state of Virginia. And then he was wrestling in conference, the number 1 seed, which he's beaten before in practices, I think. Or, I mean, he's like, he knew he could beat him, but that dude turned my son's knee, which tore his MCL. So he finished the match. He lost that, but he didn't get a chance to wrestle in the state championships because of that. And he was out for, let's see, February until May, I think, while his knee recovered, because he was planning to wrestle he took 6th in states the year before, and then he took 3rd in freestyle states, 3rd or 4th in freestyle states as well. And he obviously, of course, his goal was to win states in folk style, high school folk style wrestling, and in freestyle wrestling in his weight class, but he didn't get a chance to this year. So yeah, he's recovered very well. We're very happy with his recovery. We did the right when it happened to help accelerate the healing process of the MCL, which my understanding, if I recall, has a blood supply, and so it could heal faster compared to like an ACL tear, which does not have a blood supply, which requires surgery to heal. But because he tore his MCL, it was recoverable without surgery. It just needs time to heal. And so we did what's called PRP injections on that injured area, Dr. Constantinitis from Applied Health. Actually, she just changed the name to Access Medical Center, her practice in Virginia Beach, Virginia. She's a chiropractor and holistic healer that we go to for the majority of our medical needs. And so she actually did the PRP injections in her clinic, which helped the healing process go a little faster and better. And so he got up to, once he healed and started lifting heavy again, he was squatting, I think his max 1 rep squat, I think he got 2 reps on 285 pounds of a back squat. So he's pretty proud about that, and just got into weightlifting. And in fact, my wife told me that he needed new shorts because the legs are too tight on his shorts now. So yes, he got new shorts because I guess his legs got thicker from running around, and I guess just growth. I mean, he's a freshman in high school. I mean, I've always thought he might be a tall and skinny dude because my wife's family is German, Scottish, Irish, and so they are tall and lanky, if you will. And my family is, well, I'm short and stocky. My brother's taller than me, but he's thick. He used to weightlift a lot. He owned his own CrossFit gym in McKinney, Texas years ago. That's another story that I could talk your ear off about. But let's see here. I saw some other folks jump on the live stream. Thank you very much for hanging out with me this morning. Sorry for not acknowledging you. I'm obviously driving right now, and so it's difficult to read what I'm doing and focus on the road at the same time. And also I'll glance at the chat every once in a while. It doesn't stay on. It disappears, and I haven't figured out how to keep that on. Excuse me. I haven't figured out how to keep the chat on. Top chat. Some messages such as potential spam may not be visible. Live chat, all messages are visible. Yeah, it disappears every once in a while. So thank you for chatting with me in the chat. I'm sorry I can't read the chats, and I'm sorry if I miss you every once in a while. And thank you, of course, for the thumbs up on this live stream. My first YouTube live stream everywhere. Not many Filipinos are tall. Yeah, right? Not many. But I know many that are. I think I know more Filipinos that are taller than me, Savvy. Mr. Skyfly, thanks for hanging out with me this morning, brother. I appreciate it. And maybe, I think you're in Virginia as well, if I recall. Yeah, maybe as I drive through, I'll leave earlier so I can fly in the morning and then go to my son's games in the afternoon, depending on when those start. But, yes, thanks again for hanging out with me. Let's see. But, yeah, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Dr. Constantinitis did the healing of my son's knee. In fact, when he was concussed, Severin's senior year of wrestling was riddled with injuries. You know, his first injury was, he's been taping his thumb up for a while from an injury he sustained his junior year. I think his teammate landed on him right before a match, you know, while they were warming up, and it was like, are you kidding me, dude? Right before. And so he didn't have his thumb, and he wrestled that way anyway. But she fixed his concussion. He was concussed in December, the first tournament of the season. He was seeded number 2 in that tournament. He lost the second round. He got caught in a headlock and lost that match. But as he was in the wrestlebacks moving towards getting 3rd place in the consolation bracket, his opponent, within the last 10 seconds of the match, he was down. He headbutted Severin so hard right on the temple, it concussed him, and so it pulled him from the tournament. And so he finished, 6th place because he didn't finish. But the next day, he wasn't feeling good, so I shot my chiropractor, Dr. C, an email, told her that I'm planning to schedule an appointment for Severin on Monday, and she actually texted me back and said, hey, if you can meet me at the clinic in an hour, I will, I'll see him. And so of course we jumped on that, and she brought him in. She did some voodoo magic, tippy tap, 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 tap on his head, right? Adjustment on the spine, and he sat up and he's like, holy cow, I am no longer dizzy. I no longer, have the symptoms of a concussion. And so we still follow the concussion protocol. I think it's the 5 steps of concussion protocol that they use for high school athletics. In the event of a concussion to make sure that he was good to go. And but she did the voodoo magic tip tap tap chiropractic work on him for a concussion, which was awesome. And so she took care of him, and so we've been going to her for those major injuries, and I've been lucky, knock on wood. I'm going to say that I've not had a need to go see her, but she actually did help me with my TBI and PTSD issues that I've had in the past. In fact, I know that not 100% resolved, but I'm in a happy place, which is great. And so we're not going to talk about that anymore. So yep, let's see here, 11:40 right now. You know what, my navigation disappeared on me, and so good that he did recover. Yes, he did. He recovered very well. And so, my concern, of course, with him playing rugby was that, hey, you might get concussed again, right? Because they don't wear padding and helmets and stuff like that, like they do in football, American football, that is. I guess the injuries are less as far as concussions and TBIs, because when they tackle, it's primarily tackling with the arms and legs. They're not putting their shoulders or heads into it, because the tackler is protecting themselves. And I think I read someplace as well that the tackler needs to make the tackle while taking into consideration the tacklee's safety. It's kind of like in wrestling. When you wrestle, if you pick your opponent up off the ground, the person doing the picking up is responsible for that wrestler's safety. So you can't pick him up in high school wrestling. You can't pick him up and slam him to the ground like you would in freestyle. It's a different type of mat for one also. But you have to pick them up and you have to guide them or safely bring them back to the mat in high school wrestling. And so, it was pretty cool. It's funny, my brother does this move. It's a double leg takedown, but it's a double leg shot. You pick him up, and then while you're bringing him down, you slip the half Nelson into him and pin him right from the standing position, or from standing to back. So the funny thing is, my brother says that that's his move, but I was doing that before him in high school. And the first time that I did that, I was like, oh, I'm going to continue doing this. But he refined it to make it a lot more smoother than when I did it, because that's how you do stuff. And Severin made it even smoother, where he would pick him up and really just lower his guy to the ground. And when I did it, it was like, because the rules were a little bit different, they didn't have the lowering your opponent safely to the mat. It was not quite a slam, but it was very rough and choppy whenever I, did that move, putting my opponent onto the ground also. And so when he first did that in the wrestling room at practice, they were like, oh, that must be a Texas thing. Actually, it's a Jersey thing. Coaches, if you guys are watching, my fellow coaches from that Catholic high school wrestling team. But yeah, my brother did teach that to him this when we went out there for vacation in this past Christmas vacation, that is. So let's see, I've got 3 viewers right now. Would love to see who's on there. So give me say hello real quick, just so I can take a quick look. Savvy, you're still with me. Thank you so much. And let's see. Oh, I can scroll on this thing, on the chat. I wonder if that's how I can keep it alive, if I just keep this scrolled like this. I can't read what that says there. Annalyn, so thank you very much, Annalyn, for hanging out with me as well this morning. And I think that's all I can see, but I've got 3 viewers. Thank you very much for hanging out and giving me that thumbs up on this live stream also. So this is pretty cool. Talking nonstop for the last 54 minutes. All right, I wish I could talk to somebody also, but that's my own fault for, well, you know what? I sat in the truck, I got on the road, and I thought, I want to try to do a live stream, just like my fellow Filipino counterparts there. Oh, that's how you pull up the live stream on there, or the chat. You just scroll like that. Hanging with JD. Yeah, JD. Thanks for continuing to hang out with me. Hanging with JD. I like that. I'm hanging with JD, who's hanging with me. That's cool, bro. Sorry, just saw you now. Savvy, yeah, all good. Ganda at Island. Hello, yes. So, whoo, all right. Yeah, it's wow. The sun is coming out. Yeah, I think we're supposed to get remnants of the tropical storm that was brewing off the Atlantic coast. But you know what? You never talk about the weather. You never talk about the traffic. And let's just say that right now I'm in a happy place with that, with both the traffic and the weather. And you know what? If both turn sour, I got my raincoat, and I've got you, my audience, my fellow YouTubers. Max Air 420. Bro, I didn't understand what 420 was until I guess I started hanging out with all you guys on the other live streams and started understanding. Oh, 420. Because, yeah, bro, no, I do not partake. Well, I'm a Boy Scout. No, just never been my thing, never tried, and don't have a desire to, and certainly don't fault others that enjoy that, because it's a way, right? I actually stopped drinking a while ago. Not that I cut it out completely, because I will have a beer every once in a while, but only when it strikes me, when I feel a need to. And you know, if the occasion calls for it, to have a little sip of some whiskey, then I'll do that too, right? But it's not struck me in a while. In fact, some guys, a group of skydivers that came to do some training with me at iFly Virginia Beach. I did a course with them a couple of years ago, and they gave me this giant bottle of bourbon, and I was like, "All right, thanks, guys." And I was like, "Man, I feel like giving it back to him because I was never gonna drink it." But I gave it to the boss, and he likes it, so heck yeah. But yeah, so for those of you that do not know, hello at Max Air and for socialization only host. Yes, of course, exactly. Yeah, I don't drink. I don't drown my sorrows in alcohol, which I think doesn't actually drown the sorrows, as the cowboy songs, country western songs say, right? I think those are song lyrics. If not, then hey, there's an idea for you guys, right? But yeah, I believe it only exacerbates the issues and problems that one might have as a result of it. But it is what it is. Everybody has a crutch and a thing, right? So yeah, but socialization only for me too. Or just to relax, maybe, But it's rare that I, want to relax. I guess primarily because I don't like the way it makes me feel. I like being, I guess 100% focused all the time. I guess except when I'm sleeping, right? When I go to sleep, and maybe I'm focused on sleeping. But yeah, I'm sleeping good. I only need 6 hours of sleep. I can still function on 4. It just means I need to make up those extra 2 hours later on. In fact, this past week was a very busy week at iFly Virginia Beach indoor skydiving. If you've not tried to do any indoor skydiving before, give it a shot. There is one in every major city, nearly every major city. I know iFly Corporate is trying to put an iFly wind tunnel in every major city. In fact, a mega love shout out to my buddies Ray and Cameron, who are establishing their own wind tunnel in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It will be called a flyaway. And so, yeah, those guys are going to be, Cameron McMahon and Ray Kubiak, they are building a wind tunnel out there, and they've got the land for it already bought, and they're just getting funding put together for it all, and yeah, they're making it happen. All right, incoming traffic into my lane. This guy, go ahead. But yeah, I am an indoor skydiving instructor, and this past week, that's a collateral duty of mine, if you will. I primarily do all the human resources and spreadsheets and finance and budgeting and stuff like that for the company, for iFly Virginia Beach, which is a franchise of iFly. And so that's what I do there. Doing the indoor skydiving stuff is just a collateral duty. But because all of my flight instructors that are in college, they all went back to college, let's see, maybe 2 weeks ago, we have been shorthanded. And we had a lot of reservations as a result of, oh man, come on. off already as a result of we've been shorthanded. Where was I? All right, so we've been shorthanded flight instructors because they went back to college. Oh, and we've been busy because all these skydivers wanted to get some flight time in before at the end of the summer, right? Before they go back to their hometowns because they're here on vacation in Virginia Beach, kind of thing, I guess. And so, yeah, we've been busy. So I was a flight instructor the entire week. So thank you very much, Ray, for putting me on the schedule to be a flight instructor. I prefer doing that job than doing the spreadsheets, although I do like doing the spreadsheets also, which is why I feel like I am an asset to our team because, yeah, I'm a data guy. I like doing spreadsheets. I don't mind it. I'm good at it too, which is why I just bought a course online from Drone Launch Academy to learn drone photogrammetry. And so I'm still in the introduction part of that course. I'm not just wanted to try something different and new. I mean, there's all kinds of different things that one can do with a drone, but trying that also because I've got left 10 minutes to go to GMU. My son texted. Awesome. I didn't tell him that I was on my way up yet either, but I'll be good. Yeah, the goal was to get there before the team so that at least I can go there, do my reconnaissance of the area, or maybe get a flight in prior to. Come on, dude. Plan that turn prior to you moving over like that, idiot. Dumb. And so, yeah, the goal is their game starts at 4. Coach said they'll be there 60 to 90 minutes prior to the start of the game. And what up, Jason, Drone, Justin? All right, thanks for hanging out with me as well for this afternoon. For those of you that are just joining me on my first live stream ever, I am driving to Fairfax, Virginia at this time to go watch my son's first rugby game. He is a freshman at Hampton-Sydney College, and yeah, he's never played rugby before. His sport was wrestling and indoor skydiving, and so I'm driving up there on this 4-hour drive on 64 West at this time to go see him play. So yeah, I got 4 hours. I've got maybe 2.5 hours left because I've been driving for about an hour and a half now. I am 18 miles from Richmond, and then it's just a short drive up north from there. So yeah, thank you, Justin. It is pretty awesome. And so what I intend to fly my drone as well. Just basically, I've got the Mavic 3 Pro with me, so if I can get far enough away, not over people, away from the 15-mile mark of the DC Special Flight Restrictions Area. That's what it is, SFRA, Special Flight Restrictions Area. What does SFRA stands for again? But yeah, so Fairfax, Virginia happens to be right on that edge, at least GMU, George Mason University, happens to be right on the edge of that 15-mile radius. And so if you are within 15 miles from 2DC, you have to submit a special waiver to fly your drones. But if you're 15 miles to 30 miles, there's 2 rings, 15 and a 30-mile ring. If you're within that 15 to 30-mile ring, you just have to follow. Oh wow, looks like I lost my signal there. We lost you, Jason. David, hey, sup, Justin? Yeah, all right. Thanks for sticking around. I probably didn't see your text message or your chat message back until I got my signal back. So thank you for letting me know. Glad that you are still with me here on this my first live stream ever. That I've been talking nonstop for the last hour and 5 minutes. Hour and 4 minutes, going on 5 minutes. So yeah, I am getting a little bit thirsty, yeah? And of all the times, hey, Bob, is that you? Yeah, all right, thanks for all the times. Hey, Bob, is that you? Yeah, all right, thanks for hanging out with me, Bob. Hanging out with me, Bob. My first live stream ever. My first live stream ever. And I figured it out while I was on my drive up here. And part of that, yes, that wasn't necessarily the intention of me getting all this, I guess, extra equipment for the truck here. And just to show you what I've got going on, see my setup if you're interested. I started doing talking head stuff, and I was like, hey, on my way up to Fairfax, Virginia, I wanted to do a live stream. And so here is my setup. I'm going to switch the camera angles here. There is my setup of my Ford F-150 truck. And so I'm using a Bullet Point, I forgot what that grill in the front is called, but that's by the company Bullet Point. These two arms that have that carbon fiber look to it, if you can see that, are by Bullet Point also. This wireless charging system here, that cradle, is by Ronin, and this is by Bullet Point. This is a magnetic charging mount. So put that back, change the angle back to me again, and so yeah, that's how I've got my phone set up. I did have to get a magnetic case for my cell phone. I'm using an Android, and it's a MagSafe, so it's got the circle, and they do make specific, I guess, mounts that are circular by Bullet Point. But I'm using the one that is wireless, that I can charge it while I'm at the same time. However, I discovered two things about that. Number one, not all vehicles are quick charge capable. So you know how phones have this quick charge capability where it charges at a rate of more than 15 watts? You know what I need to do? I need to reconnect my, what do you call it? My map. Because I don't know where I'm going from here. But I'll figure that out. Let me finish this thought. But not all vehicles have quick charge. You've got it, some cars have a USB on it, but that USB doesn't have the quick charge capabilities. So using this particular MagSafe magnetic wireless charging device with my phone, it would actually decharge my phone, because it would cycle from charge to not charge, charge to not charge. And I emailed the company and let them know I thought I had a defective unit, and they said it's because the source is not quick charge capable. And so there are some charging blocks that are quick charge capable, like this Anker 100-watt charging block. So I've got this plugged into I've actually got a plug in the truck. I've got that plugged in. Take this cord, plug that into the wireless charging unit, which allows me to charge my phone at the same time while I'm talking. However, that's going to heat the phone up, and that does not, the phone doesn't like getting hot. So something occurred earlier where it said, yeah, turning off the thing. Funny thing is, I've actually got the air conditioning pointed at that, but I guess it didn't help. So all right, so for viewers, it's hard for me to read the live chat while I'm driving, so thank you for hanging out with me this morning. I did see Bob last. Oh wait, I forgot I could pull it up like this. Hey, Elevate Jerry. Yo, what's up, my dude? So, in case you're wondering who Elevate Your Leadership is, Elevate Your Leadership happens to be a leadership training curriculum course.
In 2 miles, use the right 2 lanes to take exit 200 for I-295 north.
All right, my navigation is still up. The window happens to be closed, but I'm glad that it gave me. It says take exit 200. I don't know if you guys did you hear my navigation talk to you by chance? Did the microphone pick that up, and did it send it through the airwaves? I'd like to know if that occurred, so I can turn that feature off. Okay, yes, we did. Hopefully it wasn't too loud. Is that Rob Groove? All right, Jerry Franks. Hey guys, all right, thanks again for hanging out with me as well this morning. I'll give you a minute, but I want to talk to you about Elevate Your Leadership. Bob Pizzini happens to be the CEO and owner of iFly Virginia Beach, and he developed a curriculum for leadership training for executives, for business owners, for individuals, that want to elevate their leadership. And it's based off of 26 years of his naval experience as as a sailor, both as an enlisted man and as an officer. And so I've been working with Bob for the last almost 10 years. Bob, it's been that long. It's pretty awesome. And so, yeah, he's developed, he basically compiled all the lessons that he's learned over the last, 26 years as a leader. And you know what? not just as a naval leader, but
In half a
also,
mile, use the right 2 lanes to take exit 200 for I-295 north.
but also as the CEO of iFly Virginia Beach, because there are still lessons that were learned there that are part of this curriculum. And if you are interested in having Bob come out to you to teach your company, do a group event,
Use the right lanes
let
to
me know
take
and I'll put you
exit
in touch with
200,
Bob.
then keep right at the fork.
Or you could just email him direct. His email is bob@iflyvabeach.com. Where, like I said, that I work there too. And yeah, Bob and I have been working together for the last 9 years. He hired me 2014, March of 2014, to be the general manager for the facility. We were still a hole in the ground, and what was pretty cool about that was I got a chance to see, to watch this building
Keep right
grow.
at the fork.
Keep right at the fork, it says. Okay, 295. All right, there it is. Good. So there's a really cool picture of Ray and I wearing our flight suits, peering over the construction walls.
Continue on
waiting for
I-295 north for 13 miles.
13 miles, waiting for the construction of this thing to get built. And another really cool thing about about having been hired prior to the tunnel even being open and while it was under construction, as a mechanical engineer by degree, I actually got a chance to go in and participate in the commissioning in I wouldn't say some of the construction, but once everything was put into place, just rebalancing the fans to make it more efficient. So the engineer sent to us from SkyVenture to do the commissioning and the inspection of the facility, we actually repitched each of the fan blades from 19 degrees to 20 degrees, or 20 degrees to 19. I forgot exactly what we did. Point is, we repitched the fans to make it more efficient. And so at 100% power, applied to 4 350 horsepower fans, will generate wind speeds in the flight chamber of 160 miles per hour. Now, we don't typically fly normally at 160 miles per hour, but that is the max speed of the wind that we can float and fly around in on. I know my son likes to fly at like 95%, sometimes 98% power. And so I can only fly upside down, head down at 92. 91 is my lowest, and that's because I'm still trying to figure that out for one as well. But all right, I guess I'm on this road for the next 13 miles, and I've got 3 viewers with me right now. See, turn left. Thank you, Jerry. I saw one of your videos where I think you were doing a pep talk. Yes. Let's see here. For iFly Virginia Beach, I believe that it was the 3 questions that I'll ask you when you show up at iFly Virginia Beach. It's something like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are your core values? And I forgot what the 3rd question that I asked were in that particular video. But is this NASCAR go fast, turn left? Yeah, right? No kidding, Rob. Nope, I'm doing the speed limit because I'm an old man and I'm an old fart with a drone. I'm only going 70 miles per hour, which happens to be the speed limit here on 95 north. No, 295 north. Probably drop down to 65 here in a little bit, and maybe back down to 55 shortly thereafter that. But just staying the speed limit. I've actually got this thing on my cell phone from State Farm called Drive Safe and Save or something like that. So as long as I'm not braking real hard or accelerating really fast, that it, I guess it tracks how I drive. And I don't care that, I'm being tracked anyway. People are like, I don't want State Farm or anybody to know where I'm at. Number one, nobody cares where you're at unless you are, a secret squirrel club doing that kind of secret squirrel, jobs or taskings. And if you're a dental hygienist or a dentist or a doctor or whatever, nobody cares where you're at. Nobody cares to track where you're at. My car insurance company cares to track where we're at to make sure that my driving is not erratic or unsafe. And so I don't mind them tracking me because I drive erratic or unsafe anymore. Back when I was younger, back when I used to be somebody, right? Was not, I would say, the safest driver, but you learn over time that things just aren't worth it. You leave early enough so that you can drive to your destination 15 minutes earlier than when you need there, because so you can take your time, so you don't have to rush and drive faster than the speed limit and weave through traffic and turn sport mode on your truck so you can get better performance and handling and use more gas, because for crying out loud, gas is so darn expensive these days. Thank you to our administration, I would say. Yeah, I think that many of us would agree. But it is what it is. Who knows what the next administration will hold for us, but it is what it is. You know, I mean, there's a lot of other factors that play into that as well. But point is, I drive a lot safer now. Yeah. Let's see. What town am I? I am now in Mechanicsville, Virginia, on I-295. So I've got my map on my truck navigation going with me right now. You breaking up? We have that with State Farm as well. Didn't really see much of a savings. And you know what the funny thing is? Yes, I'm not technically. I'm using my phone hands free. It's mounted. I'm just talking and yammering on. I wonder if this is against what State Farm would consider use of my phone, because I mean, I think it would detect the way you're using your phone if you're holding, and it says, oh, you're driving unsafe practices by holding your phone. But because it's mounted on my, and maybe when I picked it up, it might have registered, oh, you're holding your phone while you're driving. We'll see. But it's cool. I mean, I'm getting it's a little bit of a savings, and hey, penny saved is a penny earned, right? After all, it all goes towards the college tuition of my son, since it's private college. None of my in Virginia, they have, I think it's called Virginia Military Dependents Educational Assistance Program. It's a mouthful for one. I'm calling Jake now. Okay, roger that, Max. I don't know who Jake is, but cool. Maybe I do, I just can't recall right now. But you're breaking up, Jerry Franks. I was in Richmond last week. Where are we going today? Alright, so yeah, in Virginia there is a program called Virginia Military Dependents Educational Assistance Program, where veterans who happen to be, let's see, I think 100% disabled or have some other requirements to be eligible for their youth, for their dependents, to receive full tuition at a number of state-funded colleges like Virginia Tech or University of Virginia, William and Mary, Old Dominion University. They all make a U-turn. You missed it. Mechanics. Oh, yeah, no kidding, right? If my son had applied to those schools, then he would receive full tuition support from this Virginia Veterans Program, which is great, you know. But I think it was a school recruiter, Aaron, I forgot his last name, came to the high school one year, talked to Severin and a group of other kids about going to Hampton-Sydney and how great of a school it is. And wow, when we went there for a college visit, we were very impressed with the school, and I'm glad that our son is going there, that Severin has chosen that school, and that they chose him also, and they chose him for this Wilson Leadership Program, which happens to be a big deal as well. And I'm still learning more about the school as I go, as well as this program, and I'm very proud of both Severin and very happy that he's found acceptance and a brotherhood at Hampton-Sydney, and not only at the college, but also on the rugby team, which I'm going to go see. For those of you just joining us right now, I am on my way to specifically George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia. Thing is, last weekend my son had a scrimmage in that same area as well. I think it was the same area. They're playing Georgetown, or they weren't playing Georgetown. It was like a tournament, but it was a scrimmage, effectively speaking. So they didn't keep score, right? But he had it last weekend. He said, yeah, we didn't go up to it. And I said to my wife, I said, you know, I think this is the very first time for me to not attend a sporting event of my son. ever since he was, with the exception of when I was deployed, because can't back then and didn't have the live stream technology like we do now for, anybody to record a game kind of thing. And so, I wonder how my battery life is doing on my phone right now, because it is not charging. Oh, I'm half battery. Let's try this charger. In fact, I'm gonna plug it in directly into the phone as opposed to using the magnetic charger. Maybe that will help it keep from being so hot. Because, plus it's, fast charging. Whew, coming up on Fredericksburg. I think the last time I was in Fredericksburg was last year. Was it last year for a wrestling tournament? Yeah, it was Freestyle States. Severn took third or fourth place at Freestyle States last year. I can't remember, but it was in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Which
In 2
happens...
miles, use the left 2 lanes to take exit 43A for I-95 north toward Washington.
Alright, cool. Back on track here. So, let's see. We have to make time for kids' activities. Yes, I agree, Savvy, because we will never forget that. 100% agree, I'm very happy to support my son, and I've been involved in almost all of his activities, actually. Storming here, but at least I got a flight in for his... Heck yeah! Jerry, whenever you get a chance to fly, shoot. I've been thinking about... in Virginia Beach, we have a Virginia Beach sport... We've actually got several sports plexes. We've got a convention center, and reaching out to those businesses to see if I can fly my drone inside the building when it's raining or snowing or when it's just crappy weather outside. Just to fly, that's how you get better. That's how you get better, at least when you're... I'm still learning how to freestyle. I freestyle now, but I'd like to start to learn some of those.
In half a mile, use the left 2 lanes to take exit 43A for I-95 north toward Washington.
43A, I-95 north. Still learning how to do the freestyle tricks in proximity of, other things like the ground, trees, through gaps. And so, I think...
Use the left 2 lane to take exit 43A.
There it is. All right, cool. So, the funny thing is, I didn't really get good at flying my DJI FPV
Continue
drone.
on I-95 north for 51 miles.
All right, so hopefully no more interruptions by the navigation for another 51 miles. But I didn't really get... Don't miss your turn. No, indeed, you fly really good. I still haven't flown my Avata in manual yet. Yeah, no kidding, right? And you know what? Part of what got me really good at flying manual was... I think I had, because of DJI Care Refresh number 1, I know that 2 days before my DJI Care Refresh expired on my DJI FPV, I sent it. In fact, I sent it hard. And I actually got a video of me crashing into a tree because, and I was, I didn't want to crash into the tree, didn't mean to fly it into that tree, but I was pulling out the tricks because I knew that I could send it into DJI and they'll send me a brand new drone. And so, regardless of how you fly it, you paid for it, let's use it, right? Probably one of the best types of insurances out there that, you're basically paying a premium to get into the program, so it's a buy-in. And then the cost to replace it, it's still going to be more economical than buying a brand new replacement. So, yeah, I was happy that I used my DJI Care Refresh on both my DJI FPV drone and I actually used my 2 on my DJI Avata. And so I have no more refreshes on my Avata or my DJI FPV. But you know what? They're drones. If you're not crashing, you ain't flying, right? Or if you fly, you will crash. It's part of the hobby and part of the fun of it all at the same time. And the one video that I crashed my FPV drone in, the DJI FPV, I shot video of me repairing it. So that's on the chopping block right now, or the video editing block, that is. That is Dad's driving. Good luck today. It's storming here now on Virginia Beach. Yeah, I've just got a bunch of clouds right now. But I am in the process of making a video of the repair. And so, of course, the repair is like 40 minutes long of a repair because I'm figuring stuff out. And I discovered that I didn't like the quality of the video. So I kind of want to reenact my repair because I want to show you how I made that repair. I set up a GoPro to be a top-down camera angle for it, and it's blurry. The video quality just came out to be poop. So I want to redo that again just because there are no videos on how to replace and fix that particular part, which I got lucky with because the way it broke, the landing gear actually stripped and sheared the top screws off the landing gear holder. So when I retrieved it, the top nuts were gone. The landing gear was dangling off of it with the antenna still embedded inside of it. So had I were smart and took the broken drone, stuck it in a bag, and then walked out of the cornfield, I'd still have that landing gear and the antenna because it actually fell off as I walked out of the cornfield. So yeah, that's still in the cornfield, but at least I got the drone, ordered a new part for it from Amazon, and process of making. I know, dumb. One video at a time, but an opportunity presents itself to shoot video, then yeah, I'll shoot that video. All right, so I've got one line with me right now, so thank you for continuing to hang out with me. I'm assuming that it is got to head out. Jerry, thank you very much for hanging out with me this morning. And if you happen to be my sole viewer right now, thank you, I appreciate it. I think it's still Savvy that's going strong. Don't miss your turn, host. Of course, I did not. Thank you. That's what the navigation is good for, yeah? But Jerry, have a great day, brother. We'll see you at the next one. But let's see here. All right, got two viewers on right now. If you don't mind, go ahead, give me a shout. Let me know who you are, because I can't. I wonder if I could click on that to see. Nope. The face or the viewers doesn't tell me who's watching. At least I haven't figured out how to tell me it's watching. I'm driving right now, so as you can see with my background, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4 raindrops hitting me with the sun out. Odd, because there is no cloud directly above me. Let's see. Directly above me. Whoa, you don't want to open it up all the way. Sorry about that, folks. Let's close that. It's a broken cloud. We're gonna close that back up. All right, so let's see here. Who is on? You know what? This might be a good time for me to go and take a bathroom break because I have been going strong for an hour and a half. Bladder is typically only about 45 minutes to an hour of holding. Kid-sized bladder, right? But cool, General RV Center. Man, see, if I get an RV, the kind of RV that I would get would be the kind of RV that they had in that movie, Meet the Parents. Have you guys seen that movie? The former CIA agent, he had this RV that was effectively like a command center inside the RV. Bulletproof glass fronts, and it was cool. So that's the kind of RV that I would think I would want to have. Then again, I did find something that was even better than an RV, because while that RV was pretty cool, it looked like it could only handle doing, let's see, I guess highway types of driving. Not really an off-road RV. So, are there off-road RVs out there? There sure are. In fact, I have seen some sprint vans that have been converted with like the Fox Racing shocks and off-road tires to make it effectively an off-roading RV. But the off-road RV that I would want to get, it's called an Earth Roamer. It's basically an F750 truck with a giant trunk, if you will, a giant cab that really is a command center. And so that's what I would want to have. However, I can't afford anything like that at this time, and It's not like I'm doing anything in my life right now to move towards purchasing something like that. Like, in other words, I am not a millionaire. I don't have a job that will make me $1,000,000. Who knows? Maybe if I have enough viewers and content and subscribers and great things like that in the future, because the way I look at YouTube and YouTube monetization is that it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. The fruits of my labor, the fruits of this video, and the videos that I'm making and will be making, will really present themselves over time. And it's just constantly, a constant thing of work, which as well, I don't mind doing it all. In fact, I find joy in my drone flying and in my video editing. I really enjoy making the videos. I really enjoy being a talking head and educating people on what I'm doing with my videos, in my videos, particularly with the drone flying, and who knows what else it could turn into. I'll pivot my channel down the road into another niche that is more broad, because drone flying is very specific, and maybe this channel will turn into not just drone flying, but perhaps something like tech reviews, or video editing, or who knows. I guess it all depends on, at that time, what I want to do. Funny thing is, the very first drone that I got, I bought it for Severin. I bought it in the winter of 2019. And so, still live, I say, yes sir, I sure am. Rod, good to see you, brother. Yes. Well, I just haven't stopped. I've lost signal a couple of times, and so maybe that's when I lost a bunch of my viewers. I think Savia's still hanging out with us. I think she said she's from Chicago. At least the Philippines, yeah? Yeah, still going strong. An hour and a half of just me yammering on as I continue to drive to Fairfax, Virginia. GMU specifically. I think you're Richmond, aren't you, Rodney? Yeah, I wish that in learning, having the ability to have someone on with me, like Droner Game, like Justin does, and Johnny Drone Flyer, and Paul Murray, and all you guys, and Savi, and Vlog Post, basically everybody else that's doing a live stream that has guests on and like a panel, because I enjoy that format of live streaming. That's a cool biker helmet that dude has, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I actually enjoy that style of live streaming when there's other people to interact and chat with, because I know I've gotten on those live streams before at a get, and while I'm driving, and of course from home, from my home office, from my studio, right? But turn the lights on, turn the headlights on, because I got the windshield wipers going now. It's starting to drizzle. But yeah, figure out how to have one or two people on at the same time would be fun to do, so I have somebody to actually interact with, and it's just not me talking and saying things by myself. But I do not feel like I am alone right now, so I appreciate you hanging out with me and just listening in and enjoying my drive on this beautiful day. So thank you. Where are you heading? Roddy, so I am headed to George Mason University right now, in Fairfax, Virginia, to watch my son's first rugby game. So yes, headed up there now. I've been driving for the last almost 2 hours. It'll be 2 hours and about 10 minutes or so. I think I started driving at 10:30. I don't remember. But yeah, headed up there right now. His game starts at 4. I wanted to get there at least an hour and a half or two prior to, so that I could get airborne with my drone. I will be flying within between the 15 and 30 mile ring of Dulles. So as you know, I think you're a Virginian as well, if I recall. You're in Richmond, aren't you, Rodney? And so in DC, there is a special flight restriction area, the SFRA, for DC. Within 15 miles of that airspace, of that airport, you have to file a waiver to fly within 15 miles, and if you are between 15 and 30 miles, you have to abide by by the restrictions that are actually listed in the FAA's website. So FAA.gov, and then I think if you just do a search for flying in DC, it has a whole section, a page dedicated to that, and how to apply for a waiver if you do. And so I actually started applying for a waiver last night for it, and I was like, man, I've got other things to do, like edit this video, so I decided to stop that, to stop figuring that out, because GMU, at least the park that they're planning to play at, it's I forgot the address, but it's on Rapidian River Road, and it's 15.34 miles outside of Dulles. So I will not be flying inside the 15-mile radius. There's a F-150 Roush that just drove by, but mine's better because it's because my Roush is a Raptor. But not that I'm comparing, but yeah, that's a funny story too, actually. And yeah, let's see. So I was driving from home February of 2019. I was driving home from work in the afternoon, like around 3:30 or so, on my way to go pick up Severin, actually, from school. He was in 8th grade at the time, middle school. So I'm driving down the road and talking to my wife on the phone. I was in 6th gear, and my F-150, I had a silver Ford F-150 2012 Raptor back then, and over here a little bit for this van to get by. I had a 2012 Ford F-150 silver Raptor, and 90,000 miles. The transmission dropped from 6th gear down to like 3rd gear, back up to 6, back down to 2, while I was doing 55 miles per hour on Route 264 on my way to go pick up my son from school. And so I'm like, what the heck is going on here? This is ridiculous, you know? Because I did have that happen to me once before, but only going 25 miles per hour on a local road on my way to work a few days prior to that. And it only happens on really cold days. But at that time, I happened to be right next to the exit for the Beach Ford dealership in Virginia Beach. So I told my wife, I'm going to stop in and have them look at it. So they said they can't get to it today because it was already in the afternoon, but I could leave it overnight and they'll get to it first thing in the morning. So I said, fine. So I called my wife back, and she said to me, how many miles do you have on it again? And I said, I got 90,000 miles. And she says to me, well, maybe you're due for a new vehicle anyway. Does that sound like a green light or what? So I said, all right, well, I'll go look around. So I went up to the showroom and I saw this blue Raptor that I'm sitting in right now. I saw a blue Raptor, and it was awesome because it had these red bead locks. It had an American flag on the side. I mean, it's a Captain America truck. I mean, this truck was all me, you know. So I took a picture of it and I sent it to her. I said, hey, so what do you think about this? I mean, the truck is in the shop right now. It'll get serviced. Come pick me up. And she said, I don't really like the color. I said, I don't think you understand. You need to come here and check this out. So sure enough, she picked Severin up from school. She drove to the dealership to get me and had her come inside to look at it also. And she's like, yeah, this is actually nicer than the picture. I was like, I told you. And while we were looking at it, there happened to be another couple there looking at the truck also, who, this guy, he's an older gentleman, you know. He looked like he could purchase the truck with cash right then and there. Boom, I want this truck. So my wife recognized that, and she looks at the sticker price, she walks around to the side, looks at the sticker, and she goes, in her best Russian accent, right? Oh my God, it's this much, Jason? Or whatever, you know, this is how much you... No, why did she do that? I can't do the accent, but basically, she goes, Jason, this is how much you paid for me, you know. And the couple looked at her, they looked at me, and they left the store like all offended, like I bought my wife from Russia, but I did not. So Colonial Beach, okay, rock on, Rodney. But Yeah, so they did not purchase the truck that afternoon, and I didn't purchase it that afternoon. But I went home and I was like, man, I should have bought that truck. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna sleep on it, and if it's in my stars to buy the truck, then I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. So I woke up the next morning. I drove over to I had her drop me off at the dealership when she took Severin to school, and yeah, I went into I found Diana, who happened to be my salesperson from the first time that I bought my truck there. I said, hey, I want to buy that truck. And she goes, don't you want to test drive it? And I said, no, my Silver Raptor's in the shop right now getting serviced, but if you guys can make me a deal on it, then I want to take this home now or tomorrow or whenever. And so yeah, they made me a really good offer for the truck. Very happy with Beach Ford in Virginia Beach, Virginia. They made me a great offer for my Silver Raptor because I took care of it very well. I took it there for service using the scheduled maintenance plan, and yeah, I brought this home that day. Of course, I had to bring it back because they needed to do all the, I got like the trim package and the extra coating of paint or whatever on it for the clear coat, the leather protector, just because I'm not a car guy. I mean, if you ask me how I change my oil, I say, yeah, the way I change my oil is I drive it to Beach Ford and they change my oil for me, right? So just because I don't have the tools or really the desire to turn wrenches on a vehicle. My dad, he encouraged me to learn how to do all that stuff. In fact, he's rebuilt so many vehicles and maintained all the vehicles growing up. My job in helping my dad, I'm going to slow it down a little bit because it's starting to rain, and hopefully the rain isn't too loud where it's just going to make the audio of this live stream crappy. But my job in helping my dad fix the cars was to hold the flashlight, and I wasn't even very good at that because the flashlight would do this, and oh, Jason, shine the light here, my dad would say, and then I'd turn it back and start daydreaming again, and the flashlight would turn, and yeah, that's how I learned how to fix cars by holding the flashlight. But my dad's rebuilt them old Mercedes-Benz, maintained all the cars that we've had, but I just never really had didn't enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy fixing things, breaking things, and fix them. But my son and my wife they know more about cars and engines than I do. Funny, because when they start talking about cars and engines and all that stuff, my eyes have a tendency to start to glaze over, and I'm like, what are you talking about again? So, next rest area, 47 miles. No way, dude. There's got to be another rest area prior to that. Maybe there's one coming up, which is why it's saying 47 miles. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pause my live stream as I go to this rest area because it is time for me to rest. Stretch the legs a little bit. I am stopping at the rest area of Virginia Welcome Center next right now. So, whoo, wow. Hey, who's on the live stream with me right now? I see 2 viewers there. I haven't figured out how to see who is actually on the live stream and watching, but it says that there are 2 people on. So cars only.
In a quarter mile, merge onto I-95 North.
Yeah, my teeth are starting to float. So I am going to pause my driving and go and use the facilities here. But I'm actually going to stop the live stream right now. I will come back on once I finish. Thank you so much for hanging out with me up until now. I've been yammering on for an hour and 45 minutes, and I see that we'll hear right now, and so for the sake of leaving it on, if you want to see where I'm going, I'm not going to actually bring you into the restroom though. I'll probably just turn the phone off and turn it back on again. But let's see here. So yeah, all right guys, I'll be back. I'll turn the live stream back on in a little bit if you're interested in hanging out again. Thank you so much for being with me. So, and if you come back, thank you again for that too. All right, talk to you soon. close. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Okay.